This is my Project Pan Roulette update. I believe it's number 7, but it will be in the title, obviously, which update this is. So I don't have anything that I finished this time, but let me recap what I finished the previous times. The first thing that I had finished was the e.l.f. Lip Exfoliator. And my packaging actually broke on this, so I depotted it. So I actually used more than I probably would have if it had stayed in the jar, or like in the tube, because I had to move it to a jar. So, you know, I ended up using all the way down in, and I probably would have just stopped at the plastic if it stayed in the tube. So I did actually use more of that than I probably would have. Then I hit pan on the Stila Kitten eyeshadow. I'm not going to open that because it's very powdery, but I did get a sizable brush size pan in there. And that eyeshadow is very, very soft. I love that color, but I think if I got it again, I would get the Smudge Pot instead of the powder eyeshadow because it's so soft, it is so flaky, and it gets all over the place. Then I finished my Marc Jacobs Dot perfume, and this was the 1 ounce size, I think. Yes, 1 ounce size, and I really like this perfume. I will buy it again eventually once I get through some other perfumes. Then I finished the Holika Holika Sweet Cotton Pore Cover Powder. This was just a loose, translucent powder. There's a little bit of residue, but it's pretty much done. There's not enough to do like a full face on that. And then the last time I was maybe a use or two away from finishing the Nuance Hydrating Rose Petal Balm, and I did finish that out completely. So I did choose one last week for this, so I'm not going to do that for this week. Okay, now on to the things that I haven't finished. There are quite a lot of them still, and I kind of feel like I'm not going to finish 10 products. If I really, really try, I probably will finish 9, but I think it's kind of a long shot that I'm going to finish 10, although I really would still like to end this when I said I was going to end this at the end of October, because I do have something else that I want to do in November and December that's just a big push to get out numbers and a lot of little almost done or small sizes that can really be used up within the 2 months and not carry over at all. So I'd really like to try to finish 10. Not sure it's going to happen. I'm still going to end it at the end of October anyway. But let's get into what I still have left. And I will finish this one. This is the Hard Candy Take It Off Makeup Remover. And I am right down here about there. It's hard to tell on this. I actually have to hold it up to a lamp to see what it is. And it's not level in here, so I try to shake it out and even it out as best I can. But I actually like this as a brush cleaner, and I use it on my foundation brushes. It's okay as a makeup remover. I don't think it works as well as they claimed it would, because it says it's an ultimate makeup remover and it erases glitter, waterproof, and long-lasting products. I don't think it does any better than anything else, and it's kind of a lotion consistency. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this, if it'll pop up. There's so little in there. Yeah. See, it's kind of a lotion consistency, but I actually like it for brushes, and I will definitely finish this by the next update, and I would consider getting it again specifically as a brush cleaner. And then I have the Benefit Benetint, and this is just a mini size that I got in the holiday set that they did last year, the one that had the 2 little tints and then 2 balms. I think Lolly Tint was the other one in there. So I'm using this, and I'm basically about halfway done with this. So this will obviously not be done in another month and a half. But I feel like I've made really good progress on this because I don't know if I hadn't put it in here that I would have even gotten that far. Because I do like it, but I never used it as an everyday product, and I never used it on my cheeks before, which I started doing for this and actually like it way better as a cheek tint than I did as a lip tint. So I'm actually happy that I tried it even though it won't be finished. Then I have the Macadamia Healing Oil Treatment, and I'm kind of guessing because it's low here and I can't see in there anymore, but I'm guessing I'm about right here, so I should definitely be done with this by the next time. I don't use it every day, but I do use it every time I wash my hair, which is every 2, sometimes 3 days, depending on how it is going. Especially now, seeing it so damaged, I do try to let it sit a lot more. But yeah, it's hard to tell, so I'm just kind of guessing. I actually have started, sometimes I have to take the cap off to pour it into my hand instead of pumping it because it doesn't always catch in the pump. So that's definitely almost done. Then I just can't show progress on this, but this is the MAC Prep and Prime Vibrancy Eye Primer. And it's still going strong. I have not had any air bubbles since about a month ago, so it looks like it's still just got plenty left. I do like it, I just would like to use it. Then I have the Urban Decay Radium Eyeliner, and I'm like this. I just don't really like this a whole lot. Actually, I mean, I like it fine, and if I wasn't trying to use it up and use it consistently, I'd actually really like this because it is a nice color. It looks like that. But trying to find ways to use it all the time instead of just using it when I feel like just that little pop of blue, that actually makes this much harder. So I would not get rid of this at the end of the time. It's definitely not going to be finished, and I wouldn't get rid of this. But I don't like being in a position where I have to use it more than I really want to. Then I have the Tarte Amazonian Clay Brown Liner, and it looks like this. It really is hard to tell. I'm working on this top part here because it's a little more solid than the sides, but yeah, I mean, it's going. It's also not going to be done, but I feel like I've made some. I was about little less than halfway done with it when I started, and I feel like I'm a little bit more than halfway done now, so yeah, especially considering how little gel liner I actually put on when I use it, I think I'm doing pretty well on that. Then I have the Lime Crime Grape Pink Planet Lipstick. And excuse that, it's got a little red on it because they just used it today. And it looks like this. I don't know. I always look at this and I feel like I've made good progress. And then it turns out that I actually haven't. So I don't think this will be done. I wouldn't throw this out because I do feel like I can use it occasionally when I want to mix things together, because I do have to mix it to make it work. Today I have on the red lip liner from Flower under this, so it made like the hot pink color. So I can make it work, it's just something that I have to really work with and mix, which is not something I want to do all the time. So, I mean, it's okay. You know, obviously I would never buy it again or a color like this again. But I wouldn't throw this out at the end of the project. Then I have the Bath & Body Works Peach Bellini hand lotion right here, and I am right there. This I can potentially finish in another month and a half based on the progress I've already made, if I make sure that I use it frequently. The thing about this is is it does not feel like a hand cream. When I think of hand creams, I think of something that's supposed to moisturize but also sink in very quickly and be light because you're putting it on your hands. So unless you're doing a deep moisturizer where you're putting on gloves and sleeping that way, if you're using it during the day, you need your hands to be usable. This feels more like just a regular body lotion where it's heavy and like that real creamy thick kind of feel, and it does not sink in very quickly. So I have been using it a little bit elsewhere as well. It's also a huge container. I think they just stuck hand lotion on it just to say it was hand lotion without it actually really being hand lotion. But yeah, so I can probably finish that if I really, really push for it and make sure that I use it consistently. Then I have the Urban Decay Polyester Bride eyeshadow, and I've got a dip going on in there. It already had one when I started. The problem with this is that I keep forgetting it. It's depotted from its original packaging, and I had it in a palette. So I pulled it out of that palette because it was like that double-sided MAC one that I had this in. And so I'm not going to keep that out. So I took it out of the palette and put it in like a drawer that I have on my vanity here, and I just keep forgetting it. So I have not made as much progress as I would have maybe if I had used it every time. And I have it in today. I actually did remember, and I put it in the inner corners, but I keep forgetting it. So there is a slight possibility that I might be able to finish that shadow as far as like hitting a good amount of pan on it before the end of the project, if I can remember to use it every time. But it is just like kind of a small possibility, and I'm really not holding my breath, though I am still continuing to use all these products. I have not given up on the products that I'm using, even though I don't think that I'm going to finish a full 10 products. I am still pushing through. And the thing that I added last time was the Soft Lips Cube. And I don't know what scent this is supposed to be in. I believe it's a blueberry scent, but it doesn't say on the actual package. And I am right here. So I've actually used up a pretty decent amount of this. I do like this. This is a good lip balm. However, if you don't like a tingling sensation, I would not get this. It does tingle. So I guess there's some menthol or something in it. However, if you don't mind the tingle, it does have SPF 15. So that's always good. That's everything for this Project Pan Roulette update. If you haven't already, check out my previous video linked to the side, as well as my Project Pan Roulette intro if you haven't seen that already either. And I will talk to you guys later.